Second half underway. Pedro Perez getting us started. Real Madrid, third place last year, top of the table to start this round, although looking up at Barcelona, if this score holds, they'll be back atop the table. Rayo, meanwhile, trying to stay in contention for a European spot. Phil Shane alongside Ray Hudson. Got to feel a bit for Keylor Navas. He's only played 2 games. One was that 5-1 against Elche, where another defensive blunder allowed the underdogs to score. Here, pretty much a gift on the pass from James, but can he stay focused? Not easy for a goalkeeper, world class even, to stay focused when they've spent much of the season on the bench. Casillas was able to do it last year and grab La Decima in the process.
Yeah, he had to play against Europe's finest, of course. Casillas did magnificently with a good ball.
Back post, Pepe over the bar. We were talking about this during the break, Ray. Rayo has a chance, and you kind of sense this first 5 minutes will set the stage.
Pepe looking at his midfielders and saying, where are you, lads? We need you. Need to apply pressure in these wide positions. And Nacho and Marcelo really looking at their midfielders for extra cover in front of them from the wide spots.
Ball back for Liga. Luis Carlos Pereira, the Porto man, all the way in, looking for Fatao, but he goes into the back of Pepe, who's a little bruised.
Take a look at the quality of this pass, of the invitation for the big man at the back, who rises really nicely. Big bar waiting there and gets a ball hoisted up, and he is attacking this. And Pepe doing well and paying a price. Winter settling in as we have 1 or 2 little technical issues to sort out.
2-1 the score. Goal coming in the 9th minute from Gareth Bale. Beautiful strike set up by Toni Kroos and Cristiano Ronaldo. 5 minutes before the break, Ramos added a second, and it looked like Real Madrid would be coasting. And then a minute from time, the gift to Batistao, who set up Alberto Bueno. Another cross from Rayo that this time goes long.
The risk and reward of this Rayo team as he looks to see if any blood dripping out. Pepe says, no, I'm fine. But this Rayo team, Phil, they're not isolating Batistao as a lone wolf, are they? And against Real Madrid's demonic counter-attacking thrust, that is a risk. And Paco James says it's a risk we're going to take.
All the way back to Alvarez.
See the wonderful spacing of this Rayo team, leaving massive holes in their midfield, but Real Madrid still yet to take real positive action in the counter-attack so far.
Might be one of the reasons Isco's up.
Yeah.
Kroos quickly. Modric. Ronaldo into the path of Bale, but could not guide it into his path.
It's a good ball from Cristiano, and he looks as if what happened there. The Welshman goes into the funny house of mirrors with his first touch. Again, greasy service. Your touch has got to be just sweet as a nut. Most of the times, that instance there, Gareth was a little heavy.
2 goals in the first half. Last 7 La Liga games, Real has averaged 4.5. In 6 of the last 7 meetings with Rayo, they've scored at least 3. But if Rayo can keep this one close, they might just have a chance. Their next match against a surprising Celta Vigo side, who face Granada a bit later today. And if Celta gets the win, as they should, they could stay in those European spots. Won't be easy. Batistao dropping it back. Bueno wide. Baguta trying to drive it in, but it bangs off Nacho and out for the corner. Tao, a good pickup from Granada in the offseason. As you said, it was pretty much a wholesale change for Paco James. 3/4 for the visitors. Dropping it back. Meanwhile, 7-8 in shots. The odd edge to Real. Pepe bandaged, escorts the ball across for the throw-in.
The first time Rayo, 52 minutes in, really, it's a poor ball by Paco's wide man. They're not picking anybody out, overhitting the pass. Usually are finding players in that space to attack the ball. That's well possessed and good opportunity here, but it's locked down instantly. Done the homework all right. Good touch by Benzema to hold this one up. Leads to this. Look out.
Modric sneaking forward, draws Ba away. The return pass deflects back to the Croatian, who couldn't quite curl it in.
Well, he was expecting this ball back first time from Gareth Bale. He doesn't get it. Ball played out right there. He wanted it in straight. Oh, not sure. But then it falls eventually for Modric. It's a great attempt. Very close to finding the target from Luka.
Marcelo back to Navas, calm under fire. That pressure forces the turnover.
Christian Alvarez here going to have to be aware that on this greasy surface he can act as a real good sweeper keeper to prevent a lot of those counter attacks if he's careful, as the ball from this midfield of Real Madrid is going to have to be inch perfect, because it's proven to be a bit of a frustrating night for Cristiano. That slick surface really doesn't play into that counter-attacking of that space behind this high back line of Rayo. So the pass from Real Madrid into that cow's field behind the back line going to have to be pretty accurate. The ball doesn't seem to be holding up at all.
Play on, says the ref. Zé Castro even seemed surprised. Liga.
Oh, what a ball!
Bueno.
Magic!
Settles, shoots, and scores! We're tied at 2, or no! Batistao caught by the flag. Ramos arguing on the near side. Whistles from the upper deck as Rayo comes close.
Well, the perfect pass is picked out over distance, and no real complaints from Paco Jimenez. Counter-attacks on here.
And Ronaldo in full flight. Has to slow, brings it to his left, pokes it to keep it alive. Kroos, whoa! Bullseye!
Typical Teutonic accuracy from this wonderful footballer who passes it in to the net with the touch of a mother's kiss. And it's good night from Tony. It's a nice layup, but look at all the considerations he's got to take into account. Here's the ball that just was out of play. It's certainly not offside, or it seems it may be just a hair offside. But either way, when we look at this ball from Cristiano, pulls it back beautifully, keeps it alive, and then right here, he slingshots it, steers this one home, Bavarian style. Magnificent from Tony. Beautiful touch. Curls it, swerves it, and sends it with absolutely a kiss from heaven. Not from them lips, but from that right foot. Take a look again, as Cristiano's already identified and seen him, and he kept it alive, Ronaldo, and set the table for Tony. Was wonderful, wonderful. Gale in his passing goal.
The normal starting goalkeeper, Tonio, unavailable today, injured against Eibar in their last match. Don't think he could have done much better.
Oh, no. Honestly, Phil, I'm not so sure any goalkeeper in the world gets that one. It had a hell of a save. But the audacity in which he caressed it was really just sublime, and a cruel blow for Rayo Vallecano, having that goal rubbed off. But in the replay you saw maybe 6 inches offside perhaps.
Got to stay focused. Paco Gemes will say, take a look at the cut of the grass.
When it's played, is he on? He's just leaning over. It is desperately close. And then there's no more pernicious way of responding than hitting a team just when they're down. And Rayo couldn't believe that one was ruled off. And then Real Madrid said, well, what do you think about this? Wonderful Toni Kroos.
James knocked down. Fatau again. Has to be careful playing with the yellow. Wide. Nacho doing well, deputizing on that right flank today. Lifted through almost to Marcelo. Liga coming back to tap it.
Oh, well played from the Portuguese international here, tracking back on the Brazilian. Liga just needed it from this angle. You can tell right there, as you said, Phil, on the manicured line, just when the ball's played, he's a half a boot length offside. Unlucky.
And again, from the spirit of the game, not like he was cherry picking, but pops up for Ronaldo, sending it across and knocked home by Benzema. Getting there just before Bale. It could have been tied, but now it's Real Madrid in a cakewalk.
Again. The Frenchman arrives by stealth, wearing his French hush puppies, guiding in like a ghost through the fog. Pepe starts it. Cristiano knows the big vulture's leaning in at the back post. It's another questionable call of offside. But look at the dispatch. The focus from Benzema is magnificent. And it took away. This is no shot for my money. This is a feeding of three vultures who are all hungry and waiting. And Benzema, Karim, the Karim rises to the top again.
Under pressure, Alvarez. I'm just thinking how many lattes you had to come up with that one. 4-1 the score. The BBC in full flight right now, although it's the C that has yet to score. Bale with one,
nice touch.
Benzema with one, although Cristiano Ronaldo a hat trick of assists among the 4 Real Madrid goals. Counting Bueno. It's been an all Real Madrid day.
Well, in my playing days, Phil, we used to call that the wicked pass. We'd shout wicked as you flood into the box, and it just needed to be fired across in front of you, and that's exactly what Cristiano did. It was a wicked ball. Call it wicked because it's very, very difficult to defend and contain. Really, truly believe that was no attempt at a very acute angle of a shot for Cristiano. He would have seen with his great fly's eye vision those 3 shirts streaking towards that mid to back post area, and surely one of them's got to put it in, and so it proved. QED, problem solved.
Mozaved getting set to check in for Paco Gemes. Tumultuous second half. Almost an equalizer, and now pretty much out of it. Take a look. Benzema more offside here than Batistao was on the other side.
Yep.
And in my mind, there's an argument not to lift the flag on either. The offside rule was designed to stop cherry picking, not attacks.
Don't disagree. And regardless of cherry picking or whatever, in the rule book it states if it's too close to call, you keep your flag down. Very rarely do. It's always the credit to the defenders more than the attackers.
A bunch of Solomons on the sidelines. Trasoras exits dejectedly. And again, it's been an impressive performance for Rayo, but it's the danger when you play with Real Madrid, you get burned. Wide for Liga again, poked away by Marcelo. Hour in the book, less than a half to go. Whipped across, out comes Navas, an easy grab to deny Keeney.
Isco there, waiting like a teenager, playing the part of ball boy just to get near the action.
Rayo looking to lick their wounds against Celta and Almeria before they face Valencia. Benzema lifts his head, looks, drops it back for Modric. Didn't want to strike it first time.
Yeah, and that goes to advertise what a great player Toni Kroos is. The wonderful way he stepped through that.
James.
Give him the opportunity of scoring that goal, the confidence of Kroos, the way he stepped through it, and Madrid showing that it ain't that easy.
By the way, Ray, as the
ball.
back heel to Nacho gets cleared by Zé Castro, that's something we've seen from Kroos since his days back at Bayer Leverkusen. And in all honesty, at least at this stage of his career, it's something that Xabi Alonso doesn't provide. So one more arrow in the quiver for Carlo Ancelotti. Tony with an assist and a goal today. Good team play by Real. As you pointed early, patient.
Good ball.
Just needed to lift it around the tackle.
Did beautiful to separate himself away from his midfield defender there, Pepe, but just couldn't measure his pass for Cristiano. Well played. And again, he's on this time. No,
Flag comes up late.
Yeah.
Batistao.
This one is very close as well.
Trying to hang out
instinctively. As soon as he gets possession here, take a look.
Close again, though.
Marcelo on this side, very, very close.
Through ball, Marcelo for Ronaldo, gobbled up by Alvarez.
I was Batistao would definitely change my boots, get a couple of sizes smaller.
I think now we know why George Hagi used to wear those size 6s.
Hagi would be on the end of his own pass there.
65th minute. After this, Ray, one of the games that I've been waiting for since June. Eibar against Real Madrid.
Nicely.
Chance for Liga. Bueno looking for his second. Marcelo not once but twice.
Yeah, the whole town will be out looking for tickets, Phil. The town is, what's the population?
About 15. And that's the one point. They've been told they have to build a 20,000 seat stadium. And their point is why we can't even fill a 5,000 seat one.
Wonderful.
But and the other point was you have to raise all of this extra money. Why? We don't have any debt.
Great counter punches, aren't they?
But they did, and they did. And it'd be nice to see him stick around.
Certainly.
Chance for Liga.
They're going from these hallowed grounds of the Santiago Bernabeu to little Eibar. And what a contrast that will be.
Ray, if Eibar gets the victory at Malaga, they could climb into the top 8.
Marvelous.
Here's Marcelo as Isco sheds the warm-up. Ramos off to the races, just beyond Modric. Kept alive Nacho.
Again, the spirit of Rayo Vallecano not wilting at all under this goal fest that they are looking at, and still coming out with the dagger in between their teeth. It's so applaudable.
Tau wide for Keeney. Kakuta has changed sides.
Nicely again.
The return pass might have sent Kakuta into the box, but they look for Keeney. Good defense, Marcelo. Thomas back.
Well played.
Dancing in and out. Unable to find the target. Josaved, the substitute.
Stretched out now.
Benzema to Ronaldo.
Aye, aye.
Bale in the middle.
Nicely.
Leaves it for Benzema.
Wonderful.
Lifting it for Bale. Out comes Alvarez to punch clear.
Well, the trident comes at Christian Alvarez, and his teammates cannot help him out. Again, stripped naked that time by Real Madrid's wonderful tic-tac, and nearly door.
Kenny coming in for the ailing Insua, which has somewhat hampered James. Only one sub left. Nice give and go, but it gets away from Kakuta, and he gets hurt. Might have been knee to knee, but Ramos might have gotten the worst of it. Isco in. Taking a seat. James. If there has been, if you want to call it a blemish, it was that bad back pass by Rodriguez that was converted. Other than that, it's been near perfect for Real as the rain pours down.
Well, big new favourite comes into town in the shape of the bandy-legged Isco, who couldn't stop a pig in a passage with those wonderful legs, but huge talent, and this crowd has really taken to him. It's a great turn by the Welshman.
Bale scoops it over. Isco could not contort himself. Marcelo keeps it in. Back for Isco Alarcon. Slight deflection from Josabed. Takes it back to Bueno. Ball wide, sneaking it in along the 6. A bit of a bobble from Navas. But he falls on top. Good question asked by Liga. Bale again. Tees it up, sneaks it in. Ronaldo! Point blank save for Alvarez.
Beautifully weighted ball this time from the Welshman. Plays it right into stride. Kisses it with one touch just to settle it up. And then the sliding tackle cannot get him. But Christian Alvarez, the Argentina man, comes across to deny Cristiano again.
Playing his line was Alvarez. Pepe over the back. Ronaldo asking, what did he do?
Yeah, Pepe does nothing wrong. You see the push from Sergio Ramos here.
So how does Paco Gemes regroup? Well, he's been here before. Give him credit as well. Jose Ramon Sandoval, the man who was in charge of this Rayo side before, had a good, attractive side. Just Gemes has taken it to another level.
You know what, Phil? You're absolutely right. And it needs to be profile, because what this team in red and white in this Peruvian away strip play, it's nothing less. In the modern day of our game, it's nothing less than a miracle of how they keep themselves involved in La Liga and how they play such an attractive method of football. You don't need to particularly be a fan, but you need to admire them, that's for sure. Wonderful play again.
Chance on the cross. Josabed denied.
I mean, on top of everything else that they face, they live just down the road from the Royal Whites. And for the Rayo Vallecano fans, you know, tip your sombrero off to them, truly. This demanding crowd of Real Madrid. Not much of a forgiveness method for Gareth Bale with every heavy touch. He hears it.
Goal on the day, just not quite the level that he might have been the second half last year. Ramos going into the back. Bueno draws the foul.
As ever, wonderful quick feet from the ex-Valladolid man.
Another fun player to watch, getting set to check in, Manucho.
Yep.
So much talent.
Well, he had a good game. This man coming off and hearing from them great fans upstairs. Well played, Leo. Well played indeed. On loan from Atletico Madrid. Good footballer.
Manucho, meanwhile, the man who said he could equal Cristiano Ronaldo in goals. Well, he has on the day. Just a few hundred behind all time. But seems to be showing signs of snapping out. Nakuta from about 30 drives into the top of the wall. Bale took it right on the noggin, and it deflects up and over for a corner.
Brave from the Welshman here. He sees this one coming right at him, and he adjusts his neck quickly to snap it away. More ducking and diving from the Welshman.
Back in the air, headed up, and just wide. So close by the big man, Ba.
A wonderful challenge here. Pepe comes to try to get it. Ba just gets there. His afro just getting to it before the ball man. And he's so unlucky not to find a target. Admirable from the Senegalese man.
Meanwhile, there will be questions asked of Navas. Pepe seemed to have the man. Why'd he have to come out? It could have cost them. Isco across. Skips away from Bale again. Lunges to keep it alive. Only one chance in the second half for Rayo. Credit to Real Madrid's defense. Modric. Manucho on his heels. Laid off by Bale, but on a different page. Nacho for Ramos. Final quarter hour approaches.
Wonderful shuffle into the deck again from Ancelotti, though, sending in Isco this time for James. He said on record that I can play them in a variety of ways, these footballers. They'll fit into the system. It doesn't have to be between Gareth Bale and Isco. I can take a number of other players out and insert them, and it'll still be the same. My money, Real Madrid never looked as good as they did in the last 5 games when this man, this youngster called Isco, was involved. There seemed to be such a tremendous balance and ruthlessness about the way they played, not just the way they won their games, but the manner in which they played. It was such an admirable balancing act performed by Ancelotti.
And balance seemed to be the key word.
Yeah.
4-1 though, even not at their best today. Kinney.
Wonderful problems to have for Ancelotti, though. The changes that have been made have showed that they go from what is basically 100% perfection of demonstrative football to maybe 95%. And that's a pretty good way of falling away, if you like, and giving the boss a variety, a multitude of options. Against which team? That's going to be the question as these games get harder, as the league goes on, and as the European opposition gets tougher.
By the way, could be interesting. Mentioned 2 subs. You'd figure Chicharito might be one of them, but Real Madrid did call up 2 youngsters. The captain of the Castilla side, Sergio Agusa, and Alvaro Medran, both on the bench. Today might be a good day to bleed them in a bit.
Yep.
Of course, right, cuts left. Credit to Manucho for coming back. Bueno under pressure, threads it around Pepe. Back post is Kakuta, but the pass won't get there. Sergio Ramos with the heroics. Liga just needed a bit more. Manucho in for Bueno, a little behind. Cross again. Benzema cheating forward. Is he going to get there? Almost.
Thunderous applause deservedly for Benzema, who was led way off target but runs it down beautifully in an attempt to keep it alive. The crowd let him know, and the marshals.
Ball in Navas again. Wet conditions, maybe a bit forgiving. Good ball, Manucho. Liga getting in the wrong column of the referee's book.
Another man who's had a real good game out there, Big Liga.
By the way, our condolences going out to the family of former Real Madrid legend Hugo Sanchez. His daughter apparently passing away. A gas leak in her apartment in Mexico City. So not all is bright in the land of the merengue. Bale denied by Alvarez, and the woodwork.
Wonderful stinger over distance. It sets himself up beautifully for a real sizzler, and he gets the big Bertha out here. One touch to control it. He identifies everything correctly, but again, the springing Argentinian leaps and denies with a wonderful acrobatic save. And the goalkeeper's big white skinny friend, the crossbar.
Ball slapped away. Liga stripped. Modric. He's got the ability.
Oh, what a save this is. It's a great shot, and you dream about those ones. In practice they all whistle in, but that one was right on target. There's not much more that Gareth Bale could have done. Absolutely stung towards Christian Alvarez, and the ex-Rosario Central man does wonderfully well.
Immediately following this match, Malaga Eibar coming your way on beIN Sports in Espanol. Celta Vigo against Granada will be on beIN Sports Connect. We'll also bring you Sampdoria Milan from Serie A. Manucho trying to get there, but deflects back to Navas. Tomorrow action getting underway early in the 5 o'clock hour. It's a Moscow derby. Dinamo against CSKA. 5:15 Eastern. Kakuta deflected to Pepe. Sevilla Levante to follow, and Cagliari Genoa just the start of the day. beIN Sports.tv for details. Modric not getting the call with a 4-1 lead. Pedro Perez swallowing the whistle a bit. Don't forget tomorrow as well on the big channel, Le Classique. PSG against Olympique Marseille.
Played.
Feeding Ronaldo, gets around to Castro. Still hunting for a second goal, but Bueno sees it stripped by Kroos. And it will be Medran. Three minutes, or actually 8 minutes left to go, plus time. Good ball, top of the box, but
well played.
Kakuta thought he had more time than he did.
Lovely lead from Marcelo.
Benzema finding Isco.
Good football.
Ronaldo delayed but not denied. And a roller that gets through Alvarez. Fortune favoring Real.
Well, sometimes it's better to be lucky than anything else, and he gets a big slice of luck here. This ball squirts under Christian Alvarez. Cristiano will be having a good knees up and a laugh over a beer in the locker room after this, because this wonderful counter-attack, everything is done wonderfully, knitted together beautifully. Cristiano pulls back, but then he cannot believe this one goes in. The goalkeeper's got it covered all day, but he doesn't have his body behind, and it squirts through his hands here. The slickness of the ball, guided, and it finally awakens the Dark Invader's sleeping sword of war for Cristiano's first goal of the day.
Medran will step onto the pitch, his second senior appearance. Bale exits with a goal. The first one just 9 minutes in. And Chicharito Hernandez will step in as the final substitute. This is the biggest margin at home for Real Madrid against Rayo since they put 7 on the board back in 1980. Actually did have that 6-2 back in 2011 as well. And they might add to it here.
And again,
Isco offside.
Wonderful run continued by Cristiano Ronaldo. Expected, he'd lost his defenders streaking away from him. Take a look at Cristiano. It's wide open here. Isco decides to go to the right and not the left.
Marcelo, second effort, but Zé Castro got there first. And even down by 4, Rayo still pushing forward. Manucho battling Pepe. Good ball inside. Kakuta just missed the run. Pretty big match tomorrow as well in Serie A. Juve against Parma, followed by Fiorentina against Napoli. All leading up to the PSG Marseille match in the afternoon. More than welcome to join us then. A giveaway from Modric. Chicharito a little over-eager. There will be better days for Rayo. Finished 12th last season, came in today 12th. Hoping for more. Good ball in. Kini just over the head of Manucho, and that's not easy.
It's a great ball played in from Kini. Lovely identifying of his man running on. Manucho, big lad, just needed to be a little bigger. He had a great effort to get it. not far away again from these wide serving positions that Paco Jimenez bleeds into his team, and it's again very, very close to finding the target so many times. Cruz
tried to dribble his way out. Manucho onside, drives it low but well wide of the goal. Well, 2 of the top 4 have been able to grab victory. Sevilla just on the outskirts in 5th place. They'll take on Levante tomorrow. Valencia against Atletico on the road at struggling Real Sociedad as Griezmann goes home. Barca and Real winning in different ways, but it still counts for 3 points and keeps the pressure on the rest. Kakuta sneaks it through 2, gets it back. Frenchman has looked good today, although nothing to show for it. This will be the 8th straight victory in La Liga for Real Madrid, extending Ancelotti's high water mark. Bueno. Musabet. Ulicap. Tito. Ray, as you mentioned, and it's credit to Ancelotti, the patience. This was a close game at the half, but eventually they wore them down. Ball laid back heel for Patao, gobbled up by Navas.
Well, Ancelotti will be one of the first to sing the praises of this brave Rayo team, and I think they'll get a good round of applause from the Madridistas as they've thrown up an entertaining game of football and just not able to capitalize on the chances that they did invent with good wide play and threatening attack, but the merengue is just too stocked.
Marcelo to Isco. They might not be done yet. Ronaldo from a tight angle senses the overlap. Oh, what a goal that would have been for Medran.
Well, he's saying his apologies, Medran. You need to say them to Marcelo, in my opinion, because the Brazilian is wide open towards the back post for a little dagger ball. But he's got to go for goal from that angle, and unlucky from the youngster. Marcelo will have a little chat with him after the game, but who can deny the youngster?
2 minutes to be added.
A wonderful pass there from Cristiano, fully aware of the late arriving run, just to the outside of him and playing it right into straight for the kid.
Eyes in the back of his head, almost Pele-like. That's when you know things are clicking. Golden boot won, golden ball maybe on the horizon with the Ballon d'Or. Up for Bueno, turns quickly but then pulled away by Modric.
Oh, come on, ref. Stickler. Moving ball, of course.
Bueno again. Final minute. Rayo doesn't know how to go in reverse. Still trying to get
beautiful
on the board, and a beautiful touch. Kini reaches out to try and knock it away from Ramos and got more of the defender. Card is already out.
Sergio comes streaking across on his cavalry horse to protect Kela. Just gets clipped on the extension. 8 there, not much in it. He's pulling away after he sees the challenge coming through. Right there, very little in it, but certainly takes the player.
Immediately following this match on beIN Sports, it'll be Sampdoria against Milan. Meanwhile, live on beIN Sports in Espanol, it is Malaga against Eibar. That one should be fun. It has not been fun for Rayo. It's what might have been. Chances for an equalizer shortly after the half, but it was one-way traffic after that. The hug with James Carlo Ancelotti on day 500 of his reign survives in the rain with a convincing 5-1 win.
Not at their operatic high note best. They didn't really have to be. They did it. They earned it, and they deserved the victory.